Khilji's dynasty and their administration. Now let us discuss about Khilji's dynasty and their administration. The Khilji dynasty was a Muslim dynasty of Turkish origin which ruled large parts of South Asia between 1290 and 1320. It was founded by Jalaluddin Firoz Khilji and became the second dynasty to rule the Delhi Sultanate of India. After that, Alauddin reigned for 20 years and was considered the greatest member of the dynasty. The official and court language of the Khilji dynasty was Persian Arabic. The coexistence of different languages gave birth to an early form of Urdu. Alauddin Khilji owned 50,000 slaves. During his reign, a separate department of slaves, Diwan-e-Bandigan, was set up. The slaves were used for personal service and acted as bodyguards, the latter numbering 40,000. The measures taken by him were as follows. 1. The magnitude of the state demand was set at half the produce of the land. The land was to be measured, masahat. 2. The intermediaries and the peasants alike were to pay the same standard of the demand, 50%, without any distinction, be they intermediaries or ordinary peasants, balahar. 3. The perquisites of intermediaries were disallowed. 4. The grazing and the house tax were to be taken from the intermediaries also. Corruption also occurred. In spite of that, Alauddin Khilji had raised the salary of revenue collectors. Alauddin preferred collection in grain. The reason for his preference was collection in grain was not only to have a large reserve of grain stored at Delhi, but to utilize the storage as a lever for his price fixation measures in the grain market. Now, we will see the Tughlaq dynasty. It was also a Muslim dynasty of Turkish origin, which established a Delhi Sultanate in medieval India. Its reign started in 1321 in Delhi when Ghiyath al-Din Tughlaq assumed the throne. The empire grew under his son and successor Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and he also introduced copper coins. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was relatively liberal and permitted Hindus and Jains to settle in Delhi. He also transferred the capital to Devgiri so as to control the South India also in a better way. He also contracted few buildings but not so famous ones. He was one of the greatest rulers in history. The things that both the dynasties followed were bandagans. These were slaves which were purchased and trained for special purposes. They were also considered as nobles and are on high posts in the court. According to nobilities, they were more loyal and trustworthy than a king's son. Hence, they were important in the court and also in decision-making. Also, since the empires were so big, then it was difficult to rule it by one person and by one place. Hence, the land got divided into Iqta, and the caretaker was known as Iqtas. They were also slaves and used to collect revenue and also keep their armies for the safety. They collected taxes on cultivation, cattle, and house. But the larger parts and important areas were always under king's control. Both Khilji and Tughlaq were attacked by Mongol. Let us see with the table how they tackled.